Okay guys, so we kind of ran into a snafu with the weather today. So I'm not going to be doing my brakes, which kind of sucks. But I will be doing something else today. So I'm going to take care of my headlights a little bit. So let me at least talk to you about the part that I got the other day, the tool that I got, because I'm going to put these on because it's covered in oil from the actual part store. So, and I really don't feel like washing my hands right now again because I just got done washing them. So long story short, when you do a brake job on a car that has big brake kit, whether it's Brembo or whether it's Akibono's that comes with your car, or whether it's an aftermarket kit like Willwood, you're going to need what's called a brake pad spreader, okay? And this one here I picked up for $47 at AutoZone. I'm sorry, AutoZone, Advanced Auto Parts, sorry guys. And it's a really, really good tool to have. Lifetime warranty, etc., etc. And here's what it looks like, okay? So what you have here is it's a ratcheting system. This goes between your calipers, all right, and whatnot. It goes between your pistons on your caliper, and you can spread them out. So if I just, there we go, do this, you can see that it compresses, or if you go the other way, it expands. You just gotta hold it tight because there's more pressure. All right, and you can see how it's expanded the gap there. So then if I go the other way, all right, and now it compresses down. So one of the cool parts about this kit is, and this kit is Whiskey 80110, okay? So that's W80110 for those of you who aren't former military. So this kit handles 1, 2, 4, and 6 piston calipers. And the cool part about it is this right here. You can buy these just the single or the dual pistons, and they have them. But this kit here has these extending plates right here that go right over the top. Now, how does it hold it in place? As you can see, there's 2 magnets here on the back. Well, this one's got a little bit of a, and you just click it on here. This one's got a little bit of a mess, but here, there we go. So this one's got 2 magnets. You can see the 2 magnets on the inside there, and then it has these 2, I guess you should say pins or half pins that go into the holes on this holder plate in the center here. This is your regular plate for regular brakes, and this is for your big brake kits. The magnets hold it on into place, and they're very strong. I was actually pretty surprised, and good to go. So then what you do is you just go ahead and put that in there, and you expand your pistons, and everything goes back to being normal. So that's pretty cool. So it's not a bad kit to have, especially if you do a lot of cars or you have a lot of cars. And in my case, I have a lot of cars in my garage, and I've been always working on cars ever since I can remember. So this is a really good kit to have. $47 really isn't a bad deal, especially considering it has a lifetime warranty. And if anything goes wrong with the product, you can just take it back to Advanced Auto Parts or Craftsman, and literally they'll just replace it. Snap-on has something similar, but you know, I mean, it just depends on you and what you want to do. So anyway, like I said, it's not a bad kit to have. So if you're looking at doing your brakes and you go the traditional route of using the C clamps and whatnot, yeah, you could probably get away with it, but then you run the risk of damaging the pistons, and that's not a good idea, because then your calipers are like $700-800 a piece. So if you're not sure what I'm talking about, I got some of my tools and stuff. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is your standard C clamp, okay? And a lot of guys will take this and they'll compress it, and you have to put this on the outer edge. Let me go backward here. And you have to go on the outer edge of that C-clamp and push in or pull, however you want to do it, the piston. The problem is when you have multiple pistons, that pressure of that piston going back in could force the other piston out even further. And if it blows the seal or the rubber gasket, then you're going to have a problem putting it back in correctly and not having issues with the seal. Also, the other problem is if you have a 6-piston caliper setup where it's Akibono's, Brembo's, or Willwood, etc., the problem you're going to have there is that those pistons, they really don't have external rubber boots. They're kind of like internal, like an O-ring type of deal. And if you start damaging and mess it up in there, you're just gonna have leakage all day long. So it just depends on how you want to do it. But the C-clamp for your standard generic car, you get away with it. Put a little piece of wood in there, or you put a tool in there, and that's just fine, because you know the calipers are cheap shit anyway, and generic cars they serve their purpose. You know, so you can use a C-clamp, but honestly, it's a lot better if you just go with the right tools. And you got to have the tools to get the job done right. So that being said, think about it. I'm sure you could find a better deal, but honestly, $50 for this tool really isn't that, it's really not that much. It's worth it. And it's just gonna save you a lot of trouble and a lot of freaking headache in the long run. Plus it's gonna save money in your pocket, because you know, if you damage the calipers and whatnot. And this works for both sides. I mean, it works for the fronts, the rears, it doesn't matter. You can use this, like I said, even the small calipers. You know, you take the plates off and you just throw that in there, and you can use it on the small one. So it just depends on how you want to work it, what kind of car you're working on, and if you want to save yourself headache, time, money, etc. across the board, this is the tool to go with. So it's a very inexpensive way to save yourself a lot of expensive parts later down the road. So $47 at your Advanced Auto Parts, or if you can find it, you can find these with Craftsman. Craftsman's going to be a little bit more expensive, just because of the name. But guys, they both do the job the same way, and you know, trust me, you're going to thank me you got this part and this tool in the long run. So if you have any ideas on other tools that are out there or whatnot, and you know, you want to use those in a way that I guess you could say would get the job done, but you run the risk of possibly damaging your calipers, don't do it. Just save yourself, get one of these, call it a day, because this is not going to work on a big brake kit. This will not work on even the standard ones that come from the factory that are bigger. Like my car came with, because it's a sport package, it came with the Akibono brakes. And the Akibonos are very similar to the Brembos and to the Willwoods. So this type of thing is just not going to work. I mean, I suppose you could if you wanted to put a piece of wood in there and do one side and then the other, but I mean, then you also scratch up the caliper and all that jazz. It's just easier to put this inside, expand the damn thing, and it's job done. So I hope you like this video. I hope you like what we've covered here. I'm always real big about making sure that the job is done right. I'm always real big about trying to ensure that quality of craftsmanship is maintained while not causing any further damage to any vehicles. I've taken my car in, guys, and I've had the brakes replaced by the manufacturer, and they got some stupid kid in there that doesn't even know what the hell he's doing. He's a technician, but they work under a licensed mechanic, and that's how they legally get around it. I get my calipers back and they're chipped up and they're all jacked up because they're hammering and pounding on shit, or they let that caliper hang. That's just poor quality. And unfortunately in America right now, when you take your car to a dealership, they're hacks. They're fucking hacks, guys. I'm sorry to, actually I'm not even sorry to say it, they're hacks. I've been doing this for 25 years, okay? I've been working on my car since I was a kid, since I was in my teens. And before that I helped my dad in the garage. So I will tell you firsthand that my quality and my craftsmanship is through the roof. You take your car to a freaking dealership, or you take your car to an aftermarket. First of all, guys, they're hacks. Second of all, they're gonna use your knowledge against you if you don't know what you're doing, especially women, like my mother and my sister, they do that shit to them all the time. And then third, they're gonna freaking generate their own business. I can't tell you how many times I've taken my car in there and I've got my car back with clips messed up, or I've got my car back with a hood prop clip that's been broken, or my splash guards or my shields underneath aren't put in properly because they've cross-threaded the screws that hold it, which is another thing I have to go out there today, and I have the components for that to do from Nissan because their technicians are hacks. With that being said, this is George from StreetCulture.US. I hope you find these videos that I'm doing helpful. Please check out my other videos on there, like for the headlights, how to defog them and change that yellowing and whatnot. And I go step by step, and I actually show you how to do it and the products that I use that are very simply bought by AutoZone or bought by Advanced Auto Parts. Your local parts store has these products, and if you know how to use them properly, they could save you tons in the long run. For example, I spent $50 on the lenses cleaner kit, and they've been fine. To replace those lenses would have cost me $2,000 or $900 a piece, guys. So I really hope you like these videos. Keep smashing that subscribe button. Tell your friends about us, and check out my Instagram too, StreetCulture.US on Instagram, where you can see a lot of awesome posts that we post up there for different car events and things of that nature. I hope you like these videos. Keep watching. We will get to the breaks. However, due to the weather, we have a snafu, and that situation where we're all fucked up, for those of you who don't know that acronym. But we will get to it. It's probably going to be next weekend because it's supposed to rain. Right now it's already started raining, and it's supposed to rain all this next week. So anyway, keep watching, and I will see you on the road.